everyone, Snowman here, and the draw is officially out for the China Open in Beijing. It's the final premier mandatory event of the season on the WTA Tour, and if you watch my video explaining ATP and WTA tournaments, you'll know that this particular event in Beijing doles out 1,000 points to the winner. So certainly a huge tournament, but the draw is out. And let's take a look at this draw for the China Open. We'll begin with Section 1 of this 64-player tournament in Beijing. In Section 1, certainly some big names. You see there at the top, the number 1 ranked player in the world, Simona Halep, who has been very consistent this season, but she has lost her last 3 matches. She hasn't lost 4 in a row since 2016, so Halep is going to try to right the ship. Also looking to right the ship this tournament, number 9 seed, Sloane Stephens. She is also on a 3-match losing streak, and she hasn't won in Asia since 2015. I'm also going to be looking at, in this section, 2 young players who have had good runs lately. Dana Vekic, a young Croatian player who made the semifinals in Tokyo, and Ash Barty, a deep run in Wuhan, again, backing up her run that she made in 2017. She made it to the semis in that tournament. However, my favorite for this quarter of the draw, the 5 seed Petra Kvitova, who's got 5 titles this season, leads the WTA in that category. She has triumphed in St. Petersburg, Doha, Madrid, Prague, and Birmingham this year. Petra Kvitova has been on fire. Her game really translates well to any surface, and I think at this time of the year when some other players might be burnt out, Kvitova, she still looks ripe for the picking in terms of titles. So Kvitova, I'm going with you, but there's certainly a lot of intrigue about this opening section of the draw. Section 2, the top seed, number 3, Angelique Kerber. She's been somewhat quiet since her triumph in Wimbledon, but she's got a great shot, I think, with this draw. It's very favorable for her. I'm also looking at a Swiss player, Timea Bacsinszky. She's coming back from a bevy of injury issues that have kind of halted her progress over the last year and a half. She hasn't won a WTA main draw match since Wimbledon 2017. And right across from her, you've got the primetime matchup in this section, and that is Madison Keys and Naomi Osaka. It's a rematch of the US Open semifinal just a few weeks ago in Flushing Meadows, where, of course, Osaka defeated the American 6-2, 6-4. Osaka ended up winning that tournament, the US Open, a couple days later over Serena. She also made the final in her home country, Tokyo, a couple weeks after that. So Osaka's been in great form. Keys was forced to retire in Wuhan last week against Kerber with a left knee injury, though. Osaka did not play in Wuhan as well. She had an illness that kept her out of that tournament. So both of those players not quite getting off to a great start there in Wuhan, but they're going to try to make things better here in Beijing. And this is can't miss stuff. It's going to be explosive. There's going to be fireworks. This is a get your popcorn ready kind of match between Osaka and Keys. I thought at the US Open, Keys played with not enough margin. She kind of went for broke on every single shot, but maybe she'll tone that back here. Certainly it's 2 of the best power players on the tour, and that is going to provide an insane amount of entertainment in this second section of the draw. As we move into Section 3 in Beijing here at the China Open, you're looking at the top players here: Karolina Pliskova, Yelena Ostapenko, Garbina Muguruza. Certainly all 3 of them capable of getting out of this section, but I want to spotlight 2 players in particular. For me, this Section 3 is the most interesting quarter of the draw, and I'm going to start with the number 4 seed, Caroline Garcia, who is the defending champion. But make no mistake, her ranking is going to free fall if she does not make a deep run here in Beijing. She was also the defending champ in Wuhan last week, but she lost in the second round of that, so she lost a ton of points there. She is going to lose, 1,000 points. A ton of points here if she does not make a deep run in Beijing. She's 4 right now, but that could change to, just doing quick math, maybe the mid-20s by the next time the rankings come out. So Caroline Garcia has the most to play for of any other top player this week in Beijing. Other player I want to mention in this section, Aryna Sabalenka. If you've not heard of her, she is the Belarusian who has been taking the tour by storm. This has been the summer of Sabalenka, and at the start of April, she was ranked 61 in the world. She made a final in Lugano, Switzerland. That got her ranking into the mid-40s, and then starting in Eastbourne, she has just been incinerating opponents. I mean, in Eastbourne, she took down 3 top 10 seeds, Gerges, Mertens, and Pliskova. Then in Montreal, she defeated number 2 Wozniacki in a great marathon match. In Cincinnati, she goes all the way to the semifinals. Some of her victims there included Pliskova, Garcia, and Keys before losing to Halep in the semifinals. Then in New Haven, she goes the distance, captures her first maiden WTA title. The US Open, she steamrolled Petra Kvitova of all players before losing in the 4th round to eventual champion Naomi Osaka. I mean, now this run in Wuhan this week where she has made the final, she's set to play Annette Kontaveit tomorrow. Aryna Sabalenka, if Novak Djokovic has taken the men's summer by storm, she has certainly been the queen of this summer. Sabalenka on a roll, still just 20 years old from Belarus. She's gone from the low 60s to well inside the top 20 in just about 5 months. To quote the great Dr. Evil, your stock is rising, number 2. That's Sabalenka. Your stock is rising in a big way, and you're going to be a big threat at this tournament in Beijing. Whether you're the Wuhan defending champion or just a defending finalist, she is skyrocketing right now. Finally, in Section 4, we see it's all about the Europeans. We see names like Elina Svitolina, Kiki Bertens, Dasha Kasatkina, the aforementioned Annette Kontaveit, who will be playing in the final in Wuhan against Sabalenka. But I'm going right to the bottom of this draw and looking at another primetime match, maybe not as tantalizing as Keys Osaka, but Bencic versus Wozniacki. Bencic, a former top 10 player, she leads this overall head-to-head series 4-2, but she's going to try to snap a 4-match losing streak dating back to New Haven. On the other hand, Wozniacki has been staggering lately as well. Since her triumph in Eastbourne back in late June, she's got a 2nd-round exit in Wimbledon, 1-and-done in Montreal, 1-and-done in Cincinnati, 2nd-round exit again at the US Open, losing to Serenko, and then an opening loss in Tokyo. The world number 2, just 2-5 in her last 7. So that'll be definitely interesting to see 2 top players try to regain their edge, regain some of that rhythm. I'm definitely looking at Bencic-Wozniacki as my popcorn matchup of this section of the draw. In terms of my overall prediction for the China Open in the semifinals, give me Kvitova, Osaka, and then I want to go Sabalenka for that 3rd one, but I just think the deep run in Wuhan, she's going to be a little fatigued. That's going to be a very quick turnaround for her. So Kvitova, Osaka. I'm going to take Ostapenko, though, for me in that 3rd section. And then I will take Caroline Wozniacki as my 4th semifinalist and give me Petra Kvitova over Caroline Wozniacki in the final. That's going to make it 6 titles this season for the Czech. Look, let me know who you've got winning this China Open in Beijing. Please leave a comment. I'd love to know what you think. But personally, I'm going to roll with Kvitova on this one. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up or subscribe to the Snowman Sports Media. Otherwise, I'll see you soon, and happy tennis.